can't stand you. I don't want to be married to you. You're a horrible human. What? So that's really what my wife said to me over this. You may have seen my most recent short about how this hand towel nearly caused my wife and I to get divorced, but you don't know the half of it. What happened was my wife bought these nice French hand towels to replace our old hand towels. And I said, oh, but those aren't going to pick up water like our other ones. New cloth does not pick up water. I got to go over it 1, 2, 3 times, and it's like water just falls off of it. It's like a waterfall. Water resistant, essentially, versus this old one, which soaks it up. Of course, it has rips and things like that, but, I mean, it works. I took one of the towels, the new ones, to put on the end of the sink, because that's where water spills. And then she got angry. She said, oh, you're unfolding what I just folded? And I said, no, I'm using it because you told me to throw out the other ones. And she said, no, use the existing old one and then throw it out. And I said, but you just told me to throw out the old ones and use the new ones. And as the argument continued, she said, I don't like you. I can't stand you. I don't want to be around you. I want a divorce. You're a horrible human. And she went, phew, right on the face with it. And then she charged out. So here's the backstory. There is one layer, which is there's a lot of general stress between my wife and I. Financial, kids' tuition, bills, stuff to be done on the house, and it's unsustainable at the moment. We don't have enough money. And to solve this problem, we're launching a business together, which is slow going, making the stress worse. So at the moment, any little issue is like a match to gasoline, and it'll just blow up in a huge argument. The other component is we have a history of arguing over all kinds of things. We're masters of what I like to call the small things fight. And most of the time, the problem is often me. I'll admit it, I do stupid things. I'm a hard person to live with. And in fact, I made a list. I call it the dumb things I do to piss off my wife list. Number 1, my wife loves playing music all the time. I hate it. I can't concentrate, so I turn it off. Number 2, my wife loves having as many lights on as possible. I hate incandescent light. I like natural light coming through, so I turn them off. Stop turning the lights off. What are you, a vampire? 3, I throw the laundry in the wrong bins. Darks with whites, whites with darks. 4, I scratch the refrigerator because I don't open the door far enough when I pull out the drawer. Stop doing that! 5, I leave pepper everywhere on the counters and I don't clean it up. Every single corner, clean. 6, instead of handing her things nicely, I lob them to her. 7, I don't take good care of her things and I break them often. You think she'll notice? There's literally hundreds of these small things that I do, but then there is bigger, more important, serious things that really piss her off too. Like I leave her with the burden of most of the big picture parenting duties, such as of knowing where they're supposed to be, insurance, homework, and they're supposed to be picked up, the right car seats, birthday parties, what are the extracurricular activities, doctor appointments, parent-teacher conferences, checking school emails. Too many damn emails from the school. It clutters my inbox. So I take them and I throw them in the trash. Boop. And I make a sound effect when I do it. Boop. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't care about your kids' things? Yeah, I don't care about the emails. I also leave her with the burden of dealing with house things. The sink's plugged. Any normal husband would fix this. No, they wouldn't. They'd call a plumber. And you don't even do that. You're right. I don't actively show that I appreciate the things she does for the house, the things she buys, what she curates, how she interior designs. She has a gift for making everything beautiful. Can you please stop buying all these plants? Are you kidding me? Complaining? Yeah, because they need to be watered twice a day and I don't want to water them. And you're not going to do it. Just shut up. You're an idiot. Which brings us to the hand towel incident. I want a divorce. You're a horrible human. So how did we get here? How did something so simple as a hand towel, something designed to clean our hands, lead us to World War III? But to understand that, we have to understand what was going on in both of our heads. So let's start with her perspective. She goes out, she buys these expensive, beautiful hand towels to make our home look nice, feel nice. And I don't say, oh, these are wonderful, honey. Beautiful, thank you. Instead, I criticize them. I create a problem. What is this guy who's just complaining about everything that I'm doing? He's not even paying for it. He's not going out and doing it. And this isn't a one-time thing. It's a pattern. She's thinking, here I am, making our life beautiful, and all he's doing is criticizing it. Or just ruins the nice things that we have. And so while she's feeling unappreciated, my brain's running a completely different software. See, I believe in function over form. If something looks pretty and it doesn't work right, that pisses me off. Making something look pretty is secondary. The thing has to work. It's just like this marble. Did you know that you can't really get water on marble? It'll ruin it. Yeah, you have to wipe it up. Anytime there's water, you have to wipe it up. That's what being an adult is. Why would we ever have a sink that needs to be wiped up with water every second? So that it looks pretty. Don't you want to live in a pretty place? So my primary goal and expectation for the things around me are that they last and work as long as possible. This is my middle school backpack. I used it in high school, I used it in college, and I still use it, and it works great. And a lot of this comes from my parents. They were incredibly frugal. My parents sometimes slept in their car instead of renting a hotel. Or they kept a stack of those popcorn jugs that you get at the movies to then use next time to get free popcorn. Or in my kitchen growing up, we had stuffing popping out of the chairs. They would keep things until they were absolutely worn out, and I inherited that. And guess what? They saved a lot doing this, they invested it, and they made a ton of money. But for this hand towel incident, it wasn't about money. It was about time and energy. In my mind, there's a battle raging between two different kinds of important. There's the important of making a home look nice, putting up molding, watering the plants, fixing things up. And then there's the important of building a life. Launching a business, pursuing your passions, following a dream, doing things impactful. And that's when it all clicks. The reason I just had to criticize those hand towels wasn't because of my frugal DNA. It was because it really bothers her when I leave things a mess and don't clean up. And with these new hand towels, which are less absorbent, it means I'm going to spend more time wiping up, more time cleaning, more time making the house look pretty. And in my head, this little towel became this big symbol that instead of sucking up water like it should, it sucks up time, an unending lifetime of domestic chores. Take up days and years, and my life would just get sucked into all of this. When instead I want my time freed up so that I can do what I believe to be higher priority things. Like what? Listening to your podcasts and reading scripts? Building businesses, pursuing dreams, making movies. And so this is what I think was going on in both of our heads, which led up to this hand towel creating such a big conflict. So after she hit me with the hand towel and just stormed out of the laundry room, and we had a separation, the conflict settled down, and we didn't talk about it. And to be honest, this is how our conflicts usually end. They don't. The argument just kind of dies of exhaustion until another small thing comes up and the conflict rears its head again. But something happened a little bit different this time. All thanks to you guys, and I'll explain to you in a moment why. A few days later, she came in the kitchen and she just said, "So how's the new hand towels working out?" And I said, "It's actually okay." "Oh, good. I put them in the wash and it's picking up water pretty good." And I did this because after posting the hand towel short and reading through all your comments, I thought, boy, I'm wrong. I should probably give these towels a shot. You see, after a wash, they picked up water quite fine. And so I started using them, and I liked them. And she said, "Oh, well, because you can keep the old ones in another drawer if you want to use them. I just don't want those old ones out." So what's the real takeaway here? Well, it's obvious that these little fights are just proxies for bigger stuff. For her, it was about feeling like her efforts to make this house beautiful weren't valued. For me, it was a feeling like my bigger life goals and my time were being dismissed in favor of domestic perfection. But the most practical lesson, the one I keep coming back to, is that this fight could have all been avoided if I had just gotten out of my head. My brain just wanted to complain based on a preconceived notion, not on the facts. What if I had just done it anyway? What if I just used the new towel without making a fuss, instead of clinging to my preconceived notion that it wouldn't work? What if I just tried it? And the more I think about, so much of life is just about pushing past our own notions about things and just trying them with an open mind. A beginner's mind. It makes me think of a Zen Buddhist saying from a clipping my dad gave me when I was 10 years old, which I've kept right here in my childhood journal. Here it is. "When you sit, just sit, don't wobble. Advice of a Zen master." Meaning whatever it is you're doing, just do that. Be in the raw directness of the moment, releasing any preconceived notions, agendas, distractions, and just being right there just as a beginner would with an open mind. And that's what I should have done. Wow, these are beautiful. Thanks for getting these, honey. So that's my story of a ridiculous fight over something so small like this hand towel. But now I really want to hear yours. What is the dumbest, most insignificant thing you've ever gotten into a fight about. I'd love to hear them. Leave them in the comments and we can chat further. Bye-bye, old hand towels. Mwah. It's been a wonderful time, but that time has come to an end. See you later.